Hey everyone, it's Gigi. Today I have a really exciting guest with me. I have Donna here from the Yahoo comms team, you guys. And today we're going to dive into comms etiquette for the creator business, on creators communicating with brands, how brands can better communicate with creators, everything that a creator must know, even if they're running their own business when it comes to communication. So welcome to Creator Etiquette, Donna.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
Of course. I think the most exciting part about these interviews is meeting my little icon friends from like LinkedIn, and I'm like finally meeting somebody in person, and it's no longer like a black and white headshot or like a headshot that you're like, wait, I don't know what this person looks like. Who is this person?
Yes.
So thanks.
Yeah.
So the first question, I'm kind of curious to know, as somebody who is in comms, you've had a career in comms, is what do you think the creator economy misses when it comes to the comms industry?
Oh, what it misses when it comes to comms. Okay, what I will say is that historically, when people talk about the creator economy, there's a lot of talk about working with creators from a performance marketing perspective. But what I will say is, as a communications professional, I think the comms teams of the world are increasingly working with creators as a brand extension, not just for performance marketing, but to help actually tell a company's story, shape sentiment, awareness, all of the things that comms teams traditionally do. So the lines are blurring between how a marketing team would historically work with creators, and now comms too are getting in on that. It's not just traditional media for us.
Yeah.
We're working with all sorts of mediums, including creators.
So cool. And when we're talking about comms broadly, are we also talking about PR? Are we also talking about marketing? Because I feel like I work in the comms department, I work in comms, like, oh, okay, what does that mean? And then what does it mean at a big company? What does it mean on an individual level?
Yeah. I feel like maybe 15 years ago, if you said you worked in PR, it would be like, oh, so you pitch journalists. And sure, that's still part of the job. But now people are getting their information from all types of sources. It's not just, traditional media. It's social media. It's, IRL here in Cannes. I'm sure you've been having lots of meetings with people and grabbing videos and clips on the ground. So as comms, our job is to shape sentiment, and there are many different channels for that. And so we want to be across all of them.
Awesome. And you guys are doing that while you're here at Cannes. I had the very, very privilege of waking up to go do a 7 a.m. yoga and sound bath, which I needed, honestly. So for me, I don't like the parties at night, really. There was like a couple artists maybe singing throughout the week that I was like, oh, okay, never heard of you before. I really had only heard of the Spotify Mumford and Sons and John Summit. And I don't know. I'm a tired girl, okay? I just liked being horizontal and decompressing
Same.
after a really long, busy day of talking, because you're basically talking all day here, guys. So I think this is actually a on-the-fly question that I just thought of. So it's kind of a scenario-based thing, right? We're here at Cannes. I've been talking all day. I have a really important meeting. How would you prep me to go into that important meeting if I'm feeling like super low energy or just like so exhausted?
Well, I think it's Friday of Cannes. I think most of us can relate to that feeling for sure. If you have a meeting you're going into low energy, how do you prep? I would first ask you, okay, what are we trying to get across here? What's the number one goal? And not, don't boil the ocean. We don't need to talk about every single thing. What are the 3 things we need to talk about? If you say nothing else, what are the key 3 messages?
That's a great piece of advice, because I feel like sometimes people feel the need to push. I feel the need to push all the time to like be on my A game. And a couple days ago, I actually had 4 interviews in a row. And I had like 3 interviews, and then I had to be on like camera for some time after that. And my friend saw me literally crash. Like, she was like, oh my God, like I've never seen you not on your shit. And I was like, at the end of the day, like, it's not a matter of me not being on. It's just like, you have to like figure out how to persevere through it and then keep having conversations with people, even when you're feeling low energy.
Yeah.
Because you're never going to be 100% on your A game.
Yes.
Forever.
I'm sure by the 4th interview too, you were that's a lot.
It's a lot, but you know what? I feel like I'm lucky. If this is my hard, then I'll take it.
Yes, I will take it. I know. That's the mantra here at Cannes. There's a lot of behind the scenes work that happens, but at the end of the day.
Yeah. And another thing you guys did was also pop up at South by Southwest. You're popping up at more and more conferences. And you are making holistic experiences for people on the ground. So at South by, I know you guys had also like a workout, and you had like a party of sorts. You did a private, I think, hat activation. It's
We did have hats, cowboy hats.
I really wanted one, if I'm being honest.
Well,
I
I
didn't
can ship
get
you one.
Yeah, next time. But can you just kind of explain about that presence and like the choice to really lean into the culture of wherever you're showing up at?
Yes. So at South by Southwest, we converted the historic Scoot Inn into the Yahoo Scout Inn as a nod to our product Yahoo Scout, which is our new AI answer engine.
Yeah.
And similarly, here at Cannes, we converted the beach in front of the Martinez into the Yahoo Explorers Society as an inspiration to curiosity and discovery. I'm sure you saw at yoga, the thematic was very much inspired by Wes Anderson and The Life Aquatic and Jacques Cousteau and famous explorers to give that nod to curiosity and Yahoo Scout. And the idea, I think, with activating IRL is, I mean, you feel this too. Like, I've followed your channels, but there's something that just can't be captured when you're emailing or DMing. And so having these IRL experiences that really bring people together, whether it's over yoga or an in-person meeting. I heard someone say, I know you were saying earlier about LinkedIn, like the streets of Cannes feel like LinkedIn brought to life.
Yeah.
I heard someone say, and I'm like, that feels so true. And there's just something special about those in-person connections that can create lasting memories.
I think every 100 to 300 steps I took, I was getting like, oh my God, hi. And I was like, hi, or oh, gotta go to the next meeting. And I think at these conferences, you really have to like embody a mindset of not taking things personally when people have to go. Like, oh, somebody's going to an activation. You're like, oh my God, hi. They're like, I'm so sorry. Like, I really have to go to a meeting. Or like, I have to leave at 9:29 sharp.
Yes.
Like, and I just have to go, and you just have to figure out a way to make that work and be okay with it.
Yes. I know we were talking earlier. It's like you have to prioritize your schedule. You have to know what you're coming into these events for, what you want to accomplish.
Totally.
But yeah, that's the great thing is you can bump into people. There's lots of moments for spontaneity, but
yeah. So a question that I would love to ask you, since you are a comms expert, is really about when it comes to the communication skills that creators can build in their repertoire when they're communicating with brands, when they're pitching a brand. For example, when I saw that they had a mindfulness and meditation, I actually was reached out to my other contact at Yahoo, and because before you even emailed us, and I just said like, hey, I really want to go, and she was like, oh no, it's probably, it's already the max capacity, like whatever. So I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna like shoot my shot and ask, and like also probably just show up anyway and see what happens. And lo and behold, I showed up and I was able to get into the activation. I had the best time. And had I been like a diva about it, like, oh, well, I'm an influencer, like you should work with me. And like, I'm not entitled to anything. Influencers shouldn't be entitled to anything. So I'm curious, what soft skills do you think creators can really get better at?
Well, I actually love what you just said about I'm going to shoot my shot, because I feel like if you have brands that you want to work with, there's so much to be said about putting that into the universe. For example, we here at Cannes are doing an activation called What I Scouted at Cannes with 4 different creators and tastemakers from all different corners of the internet.
Yeah.
And one of them that we're working with, Jade Walters, she had put out on LinkedIn a few weeks before we were starting to think about the series and who the talent that we were going to work with would be. She had put out on LinkedIn and tagged us like as a brand that she wanted to work with. And so it happened to work out perfectly that when we were sitting down to have the meeting to talk about like who would be great for this type of series, she was someone who came top of mind. And so not being afraid, I think, to put out into the world like the brands that you want to work with. And if there's a niche or an area that you're really passionate about, like brands will see that and pick up on that.
Yeah. And in terms of like the soft skills that creators can really like dive deep in, I personally feel like the pitching and even the responding to brands, whether that's in person or online, is something that they can get a lot better at.
enterprise level wants to work with you, that opportunity arrives with paperwork, a partnership agreement, deliverables contracts, and a big release form. And how you handle that moment is the difference between looking like a hobbyist and looking like a real business owner. Adobe Acrobat is what makes you look like the business. Open the contract, fill and sign it right from your phone, and send it back in minutes with no printer and no scanner. Need their team to sign too? Request signatures and track exactly when each one lands so the deal keeps moving and nothing stalls in anyone's inbox. The partnership between the two of you is the win here. Adobe Acrobat makes the signing effortless. Sign, send, and close wherever you're creating with Adobe Acrobat today.
So you work on helping the events team, I'm sure, like make sure that everyone is everywhere at the right time and managing everything going on. That probably takes a lot of work. I don't know if you are still the one doing that at this point. You probably have a team doing that. But what kind of advice when it comes to planning ahead for an event like Cannes would you give?
Yeah, I think for creators, you mean for our own team or for creators on the ground?
Probably for creators on the ground, and then also potentially for brands to help creators best be set up for success while here.
Yeah, I mean, I think what we were just talking about too before we sat down was that for creators coming into this knowing that the beauty of being here is so much about these IRL connections. And so, yes, set time aside to do the things that you need to do, but go in kind of knowing who you want to meet. Are there brands that you want to talk to? Set those up in advance, because I'm sure, as you know, here, your attention gets pulled in a lot of different directions, and it could be easy for your schedule to just get away from you. So going into the day with a clear plan, brands that you want to meet with, and setting up those connections ahead of time is always helpful.
And how would you recommend creators start learning about comms skills? Because I feel like it's through learned experience if you haven't gone to school for comms.
Yes, I know. Well, it's such a good question, because the beauty of creators is that they're not scripted and PR trained, right? Like, they bring that authenticity. And I'll tell you, I've been doing creator partnerships for maybe 10 years, and not once have I ever media trained a creator.
Interesting.
Because the whole goal is that, you want to brief them on what it is, if there's a product that you're talking about or something that you want to, like a shared goal of what you want to communicate. Yes, brief them on the basics, but the worst thing you could do is give them a script and say, X, Y, Z, this is exactly how to say it, because then that's not them, that's us talking.
So how would you suggest a creator best push back if you guys give them feedback, you want to add X, Y, and Z to their script, and they're like, that's not going to work?
Oh, yeah. I love that type of pushback and feedback. We would be, I think, set up to fail if they were going to say something to their audience or community that they knew wouldn't land. Certainly there are guardrails and, things that you want to put in place from maybe a brand safety perspective, but you set those up, I think, up front. Everyone agrees ahead of time, in theory, and then you can just let them run and create from there.
Totally.
Yeah.
Amazing. Let me grab some rapid fire questions. Oh, this is a good one.
Okay.
Actually, so since you are here and you work at such a legacy brand, I'm kind of curious, what does it mean to protect a legacy and recognizable brand name? Because a lot of creators aspire to potentially be like an actor one day, a known model, have a known media brand. So what are some hot tips that you could give us in that department?
Ooh, when it comes to protecting a legacy brand, I think for us at Yahoo, what we are really trying to do right now is a lot of people, if you talk to anyone on the street about Yahoo, there will be recognition. Oh, I have a Yahoo email, or I use Fantasy, or whatever that might be. And so a lot of people have a natural connection to Yahoo, but maybe don't recognize it right away. So we're taking the best parts of our 31-year legacy and trying to bring that into the future in a modern way. So keeping the purple, keeping the yodel, keeping all of the best parts that people love and bringing it to the future. And so I think for creators, know maybe what your core is. What is the thing that you do so well that no one else can replicate, and protect that. Yeah. And, certainly things 2 years from now, 5 years from now will look different than they do today. But I think each creator brings something special and unique to their audience. And so figuring out what that is and not letting go of that.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, couple rapid fires for you. Okay. So what is one thing a creator should know about Yahoo that they probably don't right now?
Ooh, maybe that half of our audience is Gen Z and millennial.
What?
Yes.
No way.
Yes.
Wow.
And so if we're working with a Gen Z creator, it's not just, you're talking to your peers in theory.
That's so interesting. I'm friendly with some of the reporters on your team and that cover the creator economy and like Gen Z stuff. Like
Love
Kelsey and
Yes, Kelsey Weekman.
yeah, she's hilarious. I love her stories
yes.
always. Okay, what is the one thing you most want creators to take away from Cannes?
Oh, that I want creators to take away from Cannes. Well, I think for any creators who saw our LinkedIn Dispatch series, What I Scouted at Cannes, we as Yahoo are very bullish on LinkedIn. I've just made a hire to focus on this channel. So know that we have a really strong appetite for working with creators on LinkedIn. But as far as what to take away from the festival, I know we talked, this is your first time at Cannes. It's my first time at Cannes too. I'm sure you've heard this all week long of people saying, this is Creator Cannes. I think, in kind of casual conversations with people, there are a lot more creators here this year. And I think that will even maybe double next year. I think people who were watching the festival last year are showing up this year. And then I think a lot of people who are maybe following along back home are going to make plans to come next year. And that's really exciting.
Totally. So the creator who builds something durable in media is someone who
builds something durable in media is someone who knows their audience and knows the unique value that they bring to it. And so I think scale is one thing, but there's also a growing emphasis on reaching a niche engaged audience, equally important.
I have one more quick question. Well, two more quick questions for you that are rapid fire. Okay. The first one is, what is your tip to remembering people's names when you're at an event like this?
Oh, this might be pretty lame of me, but I'm someone who I admit I don't have a great memory and knack for that. There are people even on my team who are so great at that. I will keep a notes app on my phone, or when I add people to to my contacts, add a little tidbit so that you can reference and go back to that personal connection.
Smart. And the last question is, what is your creator etiquette tip?
Oh, what is my creator etiquette tip? I think be authentic, be yourself, and know the power and the value in that, because brands, we don't want to just, we could talk all day long, and it's one thing to hear a message from us, but the value in working with creators is that they bring something special to their audience, and that can't be replicated necessarily. So know the value that you bring and don't let go of that.
Oh, I love that. Well, thanks so much, Donna, for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you got to catch your flight, girl.
Yes, last day.
I will see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure that you go check out Yahoo Scout. I should definitely go check it out a little bit more. I haven't really had a tutorial other than at Possible and at South by Southwest. So I got to start using it myself. You know what I'm saying? They're working on LinkedIn. They're looking for platform agnostic creators.
Yes, love that. Can give you a demo after this.
Perfect. Okay, see you in the next episode, guys. Bye.